And if we are able to eliminate, undermine, and eradicate the gangs, our murder rates would fall to below the regional average.
Jamaica is experiencing something that the country has long craved, a dramatic reduction in violent crime. But at the same time, Jamaicans for Justice have taken to the streets to protest the recent increase in police killings on the island.
We want human rights policing! We want human rights policing! Less lethal force, less fatalities! Less lethal force, less fatalities!
Now, according to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, fatal shootings by police have increased by more than 20% over the past year, especially in areas under joint military control. So, while the government is celebrating as dropping murders in the first quarter of 2025, many are asking whether the country is actually winning or simply replacing one form of violence with another. So, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at whether Jamaica is finally on a path of lasting peace, or is this drop in crime just another short-lived event before the next crash. Anyways, as usual, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and please like the video as well. It really helps the channel. Thank you. Now, according to official data, murders are down 36% compared to the same period in 2024. Shootings have dropped by 26% and rapes have fallen by more than half. And police recovered 276 illegal firearms between January and March 2025, the most ever in a single quarter. Some people believe that credit in fact should go to smarter policing. Now, the truth is the Jamaica Constabulary Force has made a notable shift to intelligence-led strategies, data-driven patrols, and expanded use of the Jamaica Eye surveillance system, and focused operations targeting known gang leaders. As a result, the number of active gangs in the country has reportedly dropped from more than 350 in 2016 to fewer than 100 in 2025. There are legal improvements as well. The Firearms Act of 2022 and the 2023 Bail Act have made it significantly harder for violent offenders to get back on the streets. The police are also catching suspects and they're keeping them locked up for longer. Then we've got the much discussed zones of special operations, and some will perhaps say this is the best example of what Jamaica is doing right. These are high crime communities like Mount Salem, Denham Town, where security crackdowns are paired with job training, youth engagement, and social infrastructure upgrades. According to the Ministry of National Security, murders among young people in these special zones of operations are down by over 70% compared with other areas that haven't got these operations in effect. So far, this all looks promising, but this is where it gets a little complicated because Jamaica, as I said, has seen this before. Because back in 2018, following the introduction of state of emergencies and early zones of special operations, murders did in fact drop as well. Then in 2019 and again in 2021, violence in fact spiked right back up, reaching over 1,400 murders in 2021. That's one of the highest per capita rates of murder in the world. This is the core issue. Jamaica is excellent at cracking down, but they're less successful at sustaining and building up. Murders are down, but what happens when the soldiers leave? When the emergency powers expire? What happens in a country where youth unemployment is still at 11% and where entire communities are effectively disconnected from the formal economy? The country is making gains, but these gains look fragile, and the rising number of police shootings, some people believe, could threaten or unravel the progress that we're making. Just a few weeks ago in April, Jamaicans for Justice led a major protest warning of what they called a culture of impunity. They cited cases where families claimed that their relatives were executed by the police in cold blood. JFJ are calling on Prime Minister Andrew Holness to prioritize not just safer streets, but justice with accountability. But Holness came out dressed in blue, supporting Jamaica's team in blue. However, JFJ and INDECOM continues to express concern about the lack of convictions for officers involved in questionable shootings. For years, Jamaica has had a troubling relationship with extrajudicial force. This time, critics fear the same patterns are re-emerging, but under the cover of national success. They are arguing that a lower murder rate means very little if it is achieved through excessive force. They are claiming that not only does it erode public trust, but it undermines the very partnerships with communities that good policing requires. Now, of course, others argue that force is the only thing that these criminals will respond to. But I want to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments. One thing is for sure, community trust is critical because the fight against crime isn't just about catching killers. It's about preventing the next generation from ever picking up a gun. Because in places like Central Kingston, Spanish Town, and parts of Montego Bay, gangs aren't just criminals, they're also employers, as you all know. They offer identity, status, and income. And in the absence of real opportunity, they become a local power. Until the Jamaican state becomes a more reliable provider of work, dignity, and protection, gangs will continue to fill that vacuum. I think the zones of special operations offer a working template, but they're still limited in reach. Just a handful of communities benefit from this. If Jamaica is serious about breaking the cycle, these zones need to become the rule, not the exception. That includes more job programs, not just training, but actual pathways to work, and more youth-specific policies, because if you're 19 and broke and living in a neighborhood where gunshots are normal, lectures about morals aren't going to keep you out of trouble, but a job might. Then we've got the justice system, still underfunded, still slow, and still deeply flawed. Trials are taking way too long, witnesses are afraid, and many cases collapse before they even get to the courts. Now, strengthening the rule of law isn't just about locking up people, it's about showing that the law actually works for everybody. And finally, Jamaica has to secure its borders. The guns are still coming in, mostly from the United States. Despite the record number of firearms seized this year, the gun trade remains robust. Until Jamaica can lock down its ports and better track weapons, gangs will continue to rearm. So where does all of this leave Jamaica? The crime drop in 2025 is real and it's worth celebrating. Fewer people are dying, fewer families are grieving, that's what we all want. But if this is to become more than just another temporary dip, the government must do more than declare victory. They may genuinely have to look at the human cost of aggressive policing, but definitely they have to scale up community programs, they have to invest in jobs, education, and improve the justice system. And more than anything else, the government has to prove to every Jamaican that they're serious about really tackling the long-term and deep-rooted problems that are driving crime in the country. I think Jamaica has a rare opportunity in 2025, but we've had these opportunities before. The difference this time is that we know better. The only question is, will we do better? Let me know in the comment section what you think, mainly about the rise in police killings as well. Let me know your thoughts on that, and do you think Jamaica can sustain this lower crime rate into the future? I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.